So there's no doubt about it at this point in time, especially after the whole Nelson Peltz situation just yesterday, that whatever's going on over at the Walt Disney Company, it's over. There is no recovering from this. 2024, 2025, even 2026 is looking to be, of course, a consistent failure for Bob Iger's run over at Disney as the CEO, and exactly what they have been doing with their push for their usage of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, into everything Marvel, Star Wars, Disney in general, etc., etc. Now, this all comes in the wake of the recent announcement and the upcoming development of Fantastic Four 2025, as well as one major development having to do with the gender swapping of the Silver Surfer into becoming a female in the story, portrayed by actress Julia Garner. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Bob Iger, I always like to point this out, he is a liar. He is someone that will continuously string along the customers and the shareholders into the following year by endlessly saying that there's no agenda, that they are planning to quiet down the noise, that they don't want to further any kind of agenda within their products or their brands / properties, and yet they go on to keep doing the same exact thing, rinse and repeat. That's Bob Iger for you, and that's exactly why I like to say he's worse than Chapek. At least Chapek did not lie so consistently as Bob Iger is right now, throughout all of 2024 so far and leading into next year. Now, with that being said, alright, there's a lot of things that Bob Iger has been getting very defensive about when it comes to the backlash related to the agenda-driven nonsense over at Disney. Now, with Bob Iger actively involved in damage control for all things Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney in general after their DEI agenda backfired numerous times, not just last year, but also this year, one major development now has to do with Bob Iger's defensive response to the backlash surrounding gender swapping and race swapping after the decision to gender swap Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four. Iger went on to deliver the following. As CEO, it is my responsibility to remain transparent and direct with our customers and shareholders around the globe. Focusing on one of our most successful divisions here at the Walt Disney Company is Marvel Studios, and how excited we are all with our support and usage for diversity, equity, and inclusion into the many upcoming Marvel films and television programs for our Disney Plus business model. With the combination of our move with DEI into all Marvel products moving onwards, we are proud to announce that this will allow us to reach a wider, more global audience as we aim to create original stories based on popular Marvel comics by altering source material and providing our customers new iterations of popular Marvel characters. And basically, guys, what that translates to is that they're all about gender swapping and race swapping. Moving on. He goes on to say further, what we do not support are a small margin of loud and biased customers on our end that we have noticed that remain opposed on or spreading that our move is agenda-driven or engaging in a culture war. I cannot stress this enough, but our usage of providing women popular male roles in tradition, especially related to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and our upcoming Disney live-action remakes, along with those that hold different ethnicities getting established roles of known characters, is not agenda-based on our end at all. We look forward to providing women well-known characters in the Marvel world, as well as with our Disney live-action remakes that have been traditionally given to the male demographic. We aim to attract our brand to a large mixed demographic that needs immediate improvement as we aim to attract all genders for the projects from Marvel Studios, and we couldn't be more proud of how we are about to establish that with our products such as Captain America, Blade, and Fantastic Four, all of which are still in our 2025 slate. What we here at the Walt Disney Company find offensive is how a portion of our customers are seemingly sending a misleading message to our loyal and supporting customer base that this translates to the Walt Disney Company pushing any level of an agenda and or engaging in a culture war, and this is completely wrong and blown out of proportion from what we have gathered. our usage of DEI and offering women as well popular male characters and roles, and a strategy, of course, of ours for the Walt Disney Company is to reach a wider demographic and audience that we have never been able to reach previously, and we couldn't be more excited about the later half of this decade with everything Marvel related, as well as our strategy with our Disney live-action remakes. Now guys, let me stop here before I move on to everything that Bob Iger is spewing here again. So this comes in the wake of what's been going on with the development of Julia Garner landing that role as Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four 2025. Alright, that's coming out next year. I don't know if you guys knew. Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic. We've also got Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, and among others joining the cast. And we're waiting on Doctor Doom. There's a lot of rumblings about that. We'll talk more about that later on in the week. We got some things to discuss about that. But focusing on this is all coming shortly after the whole backlash related to female Silver Surfer, to Snow White 2025, and to everything related to their stance on the concept of gender swapping and race swapping in whether it be live action or animated projects. Doesn't matter. So, I think that this also comes after the fact that now Disney feels overly confident after what happened with Nelson Peltz yesterday and the whole board situation. I think that Disney is now officially just going to keep on diminishing further and further and dividing themselves away from the true fan base. Whatever fans are left, right? I don't care if it's Star Wars, Marvel, whatever have you. It's not looking good for next year, and especially not for 2026. Moving on, he goes on to conclude, we ask everyone who is spreading something that is untrue and dishonest about our strategy here at the Walt Disney Company as an agenda to refrain from ruining the experience from others and to refrain from using inflammatory opinions about the usage of DEI in all of our divisions here at the Walt Disney Company as we aim to transform the company over the next 2 years to reach those with different backgrounds. So notice how he mentions 2 years. This most likely alludes to the fact that he wants to step down at some point in 2026. He obviously wants to build some kind of legacy that surrounds DEI, which is just ludicrous as far as I see things, but this just goes to show you that Bob Iger does not care about failures anymore. I think it's really all about how BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street just continuously fund the Disney board, Bob Iger, everyone, all of the executives over at the Walt Disney Company. That's why they don't really care. They're just going to keep pushing this nonsense, and like I said earlier, even if they do lighten it up a bit and they back off a little bit, it's only going to be a temporary solution to kind of trick the audience or the masses into going back into those products and enjoying them for like a year or two, and then doing another bait and switch once more, rinse and repeat. They've done this before, by the way, with Star Wars. We've seen this, 1 or 2 times. But I would like to hear what you all have to say about all this below in the comments related to the whole female Silver Surfer situation. And if you guys did enjoy the content today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.